Welcome back to the final segment of the show. Now, these have been my personal preferences of the comics that I get and the comics that I read weekly. If there's a comic that you're reading or a comic that you have a question on, feel free to shoot me an email at slayersisterwitch@yahoo.com. I will answer your questions on air, and if you have a comic that I didn't mention that you think is worth mentioning, or you would like to get in or ask any questions, feel free to send them, again, to slayersisterwitch@yahoo.com. Now, this final segment, depending on the weeks, I might go over certain graphic novels, certain trade paperbacks that I think people should check out. So, this week, I'm going to be talking about Runaways Volume 1. Now, Runaways is a Marvel comic. This is the first volume of it. There are 9 out right now. And it's a really interesting series to get into. It's geared towards the teen audience, teen young adults. And it's about, essentially, all of us when we're teenagers think our parents are evil. These kids find out their parents actually are. They are they are children of a group called the Pride. And all the kids have something special to them. They have powers. One girl has a raptor. Another girl is a witch and has the staff of one. The youngest is a mutant. There's an alien, and there's a genius. And essentially, they all have their own parts in the team. They find out about their parents being evil and decide to take a stand against their parents. Well, the first one is them just sort of trying to stick together and maintain being a group while avoiding their parents because they saw their parents murder a girl. And their goal is to bring their parents down. Well, they don't exactly accomplish that in the first one, but we do find out that there is a snitch in this. We don't find out who it is. But there is someone in this group who's working with the Pride and trying to bring the rest of the teenagers down. Essentially, it's a great story, great storylines. It sort of gives into the thoughts that all of us have when we're teenagers about how our parents are evil to some extent. And it gives the what if your parents were evil and your parents were villains? What would you do? I love this series. It's an underrated series, and it's got a smaller fan base, but it's something that if you're not really sure, you don't want to go with the mainstream Marvel comics, you don't want to pick up Spider-Man or Punisher or X-Men, check this out. You might be surprised at what you find. So that's the end of the show. I'm your host, Bobbinette Carey, and this was This Week in Comics.